JoAnna Mendoza, thank you for doing this interview with us.
Thank you, Jesus. It's good to be back or to see you again.
So, when do you decide to run for the Arizona's 6th congressional district? I think this is the main question people want to know.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's a matter of when, but why. And we have a representative right now, Juan Ciscomani, que no está haciendo nada. He has made a lot of empty promises. And one of so let's just take, for example, I'll give you some examples. When the One Big Beautiful Bill came up, and he signed on to a letter saying that he was going to protect Medicaid. He was going to ensure that that wasn't part of the cuts. And then he ended up voting for the bill. And he hasn't only done that one time, he's done that multiple times where he has said one thing and then he's turned around and done another. He votes 100% of the time with the Trump administration. And those policies are not benefiting our communities. They're hurting our communities.
Tell us a little more about your background. It is important to people to know why they should look at you as an alternative.
Well, I was born and raised in the district. I'm the proud daughter of farm workers. I worked in the fields with my parents growing up every summer from about the age of about 9 or 10 until I could legally get a job. So I know that people who in this country, in our communities, in this district, who worked extremely hard for little pay and still can't make ends meet. And we use those safety net programs like food stamps and WIC and Medicaid to get through. My parents weren't sitting on the couch, they were working in the fields and they did not get paid a lot. And that's why we relied on those programs to ensure that we had, the additional things that we needed to be able to survive, food on the table, healthcare, all of the things that you need to grow up strong and healthy. That right now, Juan Ciscomani has said that he's okay with with removing those things from the people who need it. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what he has actually said. Nothing. The fact that he has not stood up to this administration, the fact that he has not pushed back harder, he's not a fighter for us. So anyways, all that to say is that those experiences and growing up in a small rural community, and seeing the struggles of my parents and of many, that's still happening today. A lot of folks here in this country want to be able to fulfill their version of the American dream, and that's not possible for a lot of folks. So I had to, for kids like me who are growing up in poverty, a lot of us joined the military, and that's what I did. And I initially joined to escape rural poverty, but I stayed because of the service and because I loved the people that I was working with. I was able to protect this country. And quite frankly, there was really no opportunity for me in my community. So what was I going to come back to? I mean, really
There
nothing.
are some politicians that they have significant immigration background. Their families, they have this background, but when they became second or third generation in the United States, they don't want the same thing for other families. What is your opinion about this?
Yeah, well, I know someone that fits that description, who unfortunately has forgotten his roots and where he comes from. And I'll say this, Juan Ciscomani has said that he wants everyone to have their version of the American dream, that America allowed him to come here to, only in America can this happen. And, his family came here, I believe, seeking asylum. But that's not possible for folks under this administration. So, everyone talks about, well, we support folks coming to the United States as long as they do it the right way. Well, what is the right way? Because if that was clear, then the millions of folks who are here who might be undocumented would have already done that. So, I ask, let's ask Juan Ciscomani, what's the right way? And how can you help people to get there? Because right now he's not doing that at all. And as a matter of fact, he's okay with the things that are happening in our communities that are not keeping our families safe. I mean, do you feel safe, as a result of this administration's policies? Do you feel like your kids are safe and that your family is safe?
Yeah, this is an important question that many families are actually doing to themselves. So what are the main challenges in the 6th district in Arizona?
Well, it is a border district. So first and foremost, anytime there's an election, I mean, that is top of mind. Actually, it's top of mind all the time because you have a lot of communities and families who live alongside the border. And what this administration has done has ruined our relationship with Mexico. Juan Ciscomani has said nothing about it. And so when we have issues and concerns around border security and safety, how are we supposed to work with our oldest trading partner and neighbor, Mexico, to address some of these issues if we don't have a good relationship with them? So border security is always top of mind. Keeping our community safe is always top of mind. Can we do that and still be compassionate? Yes, we can. But we need to start, it starts with leadership and the example that they set for those that they who represent them. The other issue is healthcare. I mean, especially in the Hispanic community, there are a lot of health issues like diabetes. There are a lot of communities where folks can't access healthcare because of the cuts that are being done to our rural hospitals. So if you have a mom or a woman who is pregnant, who needs medical attention or even emergency, she's not going to be able to go down the street to the rural hospital or maybe one of the clinics because it's not going to be offered there. She's going to have to drive into town, and then I mean, that could take an hour and a half, 2 hours, who knows? And it's literally life or death for a lot of folks. Healthcare is, if people can't work, if people are not healthy, they can't work, right? And if they don't work, they don't get paid. And it just becomes this vicious cycle. And then the other thing, and I don't know if you're experiencing it, Jesus, but for me as a mom, as a working mom, the cost and prices of grocery. I went down to a small little grocery store in Eloy, and I was looking at the baby formula. You know how much baby formula costs right now?
I don't have idea, to be honest.
Yeah, anywhere between $21 to $42.
And
So,
this is for how many days this can be last?
well, I think
This
the can usually lasts a couple of weeks as powdered formula, but for mothers who can't nurse their babies, and they're already taking away a lot of the programs that families need to be able to take care of their kids and make sure that their kids are fed. That is problematic. And baby formula is one of those things that, I mean, my kid was colicky, so he couldn't I couldn't nurse him, and he needed special formula. There's no way that people can afford $42 for baby formula. And then in the summer, it is so hot here, the rising cost of utilities, of energy. A lot of folks can't afford or have access to solar panels to reduce those prices. I mean, it's a long laundry list of things that need to be done. Cost of living, healthcare, and ensuring that our communities and our families are safe.
How are you approaching to voters? I mean, besides, of course, doing interviews as we are doing at this moment, which we appreciate having your insights about where you work. But what are you doing, like to talk to people? Are you conducting certain kind of events? Tell us a little more about your campaign.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to show up where the people were in rural communities where, to be quite honest, Democrats really don't always show up to. And so we need to be in those communities where people are struggling the most. And that's what we have done. We have had small listening session, little groups where we can talk to people and hear from them about the challenges. Juan Ciscomani has not held one town hall. I mean, Jesus, he has been in office for 4 years, 4 years, and he has not been available or accessible to anyone of us who want to talk to him. He refuses to meet with anyone. If he is going anywhere, he's meeting with very, very specific groups, and he's not talking to all of the voters, especially in our small rural communities and our border towns where people are suffering the most. The government was shut down for a month and a half. That would have been a perfect time for Juan Ciscomani to come to Arizona, where he should be if the House is not in session and the House is not voting. He could have came to Arizona. He could have held a town hall. He could have met with his constituents. He could have asked them, how is this impacting you? He could have asked the federal employees, What do you need? Can we get resources? He could have done so many things and he didn't. He did not do one single thing, didn't lift a finger. And people are tired of that. They want representatives who are going to listen, who are going to care, and who are going to fight for them, especially right now when things are expensive and not available.
So what is your feeling about this competition?
Yeah, I mean, look, I was born and raised in the district. I come from a small farming community. I understand the struggle of working families. I served my country for 20 years. I took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And, to be quite honest, I think people are sick and tired of politicians like Juan Ciscomani who lie to their faces. They want someone who understands and sees that understands what they're going through and is looking for solutions to help them have a better life. Right now, people just want to be able to provide for their families. That used to be one version of the American dream that's not possible for a lot of folks. In addition to that, I think Juan Ciscomani's voting record, he votes 100% with Trump. He votes against the communities. I already shared with you, some of the examples of signing onto letters to protect Medicaid and then turning around and voting to cuts. And so I think a combination of all of those things is what's going to help us get over the finish line. We have already proven that we are running a very organized campaign, that we're running a viable campaign. And that proof is through the designation of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee's red to blue, which means that we are doing all the things that we need to do because this district is actually flippable. We can win this district, but we need everyone in this fight. And so if I can end with anything, Jesus, I would say, if you care about our country, if you care about your families, if you want a better quality of life, if you want a congressperson who is going to come to your community and listen to you and who's going to fight like hell for you, then join our team. And you can do that by visiting our website at JoAnnaMendoza.com. And we also have a new texting number that if people want to support us, they can do that by texting donate to 50863.
Thank you. So they know you also as Jo Mendoza, yeah, right?
Yes, Jo Mendoza, yes.
That this is important, JoAnna or Jo Mendoza. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much, Jesus. I appreciate it. Have a good one.